Okay,
Smidged it.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Froe Show. I'm your host, Frank Menken, and I'm joined here by my wonderful co-host, Joe Murray.
Woo.
Hello, Joe.
Hello.
How was your week?
My week was good.
Yeah?
Real good. Real busy.
Real busy?
Great to be busy.
All right, it's good to be back. We fixed the issue of the doorway behind you.
Yes.
For the audio listeners, that doesn't matter. But
Nope.
for the 3 people that watch the video, it does.
Yeah. I think one of them was me too.
One of them was me, so...
Oh.
Thank you to the
Thank
one.
you.
Thank you to the one person who watched the video podcast.
Oh no. So in other news,
All right. Do you want to talk about the TIE fighters?
yeah. So last episode we were talking about Star Wars sounds and sound design and Star Wars and things like that. And we spoke about what was it?
We're talking about movie sound effects and like Foley.
What was the one sound effect? The lightsabers.
Yeah.
And then we were wanting to know how they made the TIE fighters sounds. Yeah, so I found that out. It wasn't a very reliable source. So
What do you mean? Like, was it...
like it was
BuzzFeed?
a comment on a YouTube video.
That's not reliable at all.
No, but the guy...
That's Joe from down the street.
No, I looked into him and he wasn't just a random. As in, I clicked in him on... No, anyway.
That's the breadth of your research, is clicking the YouTube comment.
I looked at other things and some synced up.
Right.
I hope it's right. Don't hate me if it's not.
I already hate you. Fuck you.
Wow. But he... I forgot the sound designer's name. Something Bird.
Man-bird.
No,
Birdman.
Bert.
Mothman.
Not
Bert.
Bird.
Oh.
I think.
Bert Simpson.
John
No,
something?
it doesn't matter. Go, tell
Anyway,
your story.
He went and recorded an elephant, believe it or not, and then slowed it down, pitched it down, and I think reversed it, put a bunch of distortion on it, and then a couple of other things. A chorus, I think. And
Chorus?
Yeah.
Like a choir?
No. It's an effect.
Oh, okay.
I can't explain what it does.
Well, why are you here then? You can't explain shit. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't really understand what choruses and flanges do.
That's okay. Carry on then.
I think he used one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, so an elephant. Elephant, pitched down, slowed down, reversed, distortion, and then a few other things. And that's a TIE fighter. Meow. Yeah.
So it's not George Lucas. I listened back to the podcast, right?
Yeah.
The one that we did last week. And I listened to me doing the TIE fighter sound effect.
Yeah.
I was listening to it. I was like, wow, that's really accurate.
Oh, no.
I was really proud of myself. So, go listen to the episode.
Yes.
And, no, I'm talking to you.
Oh.
You need to listen to the episode and listen to my TIE fider impression. Because
I did listen to it. I don't remember that, though.
Listen to it again and focus on my TIE fighter impression.
I will.
All right. Well, speaking of movies,
Yes.
Tom Hanks is interesting.
Yeah.
So, Joseph and I live in the wonderful state of Queensland.
Queensland.
We live in and around the city of Brisbane, which is about an hour away from the Gold Coast, where a lot of films and TV shows and stuff are filmed on the Warner Brothers lot.
I think, was Thor done there not long ago?
Yeah. Thor Ragnarok, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Aquaman?
Aquaman was also filmed there. Yeah.
Right.
All those like really big picture films are filmed there. And so Tom Hanks is there at the moment filming a Elvis Presley film, like a biopic.
Oh.
And he announced today that he's come down with corona since arriving in Australia, which is rather unsettling when half the people Joseph and I know are from the Gold Coast.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. That was my first thought, is that like like half the people I know come up from the Gold Coast to the city. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah. Oh, you didn't think about this, did you?
No. I actually think my project partner for one of my projects not long ago is from the Gold Coast.
You know what the advantage of being quarantined is?
What?
We can film as many podcasts as we
Yeah, that's true.
need. But yeah, I actually feel really bad for Tom Hanks. Like, he seems like a man with a really great work ethic, and I feel bad for him that he has to quarantine himself for 2 weeks. Also, fuck you, universe, for making it Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Like,
what the heck?
could it not have been like, I don't know, fucking Weinstein, Bill Cosby, fucking Kevin Spacey, any of those other like middle-aged dudes over, well, not even middle-aged, like over 60, which is the bracket that is killed by Corona.
Yeah.
It had to be Tom Hanks. Had to be the one
guy.
man that we love.
Oh man. That sucks.
No, speaking of uni, so Joe and I, make a little list at the start and during the week for the podcast of stuff that we want to and or are willing to talk about in the hour that we share with you. And on my list last week, I had 2 very simple words that just said Uni X.
I forgot about that.
As in University X.
Tell us more.
And Joseph was very upset when we ran out of time.
Yeah.
And told me after the show that he was really excited to hear that story.
Yes.
So here goes that story.
Let's go.
So, end of 2018, start of 2019, I was seeing this girl. I can't say her name. We'll call her
John.
Yeah, we'll call her John. So John and I met in the concert, and she was very lovely, and we dated for a little bit. And it was very sweet. I've just realized that I've advertised this podcast on Instagram, and she follows me. But that's fine. Hello, John.
Yes.
Hope you're well. Learn your lesson next time. So basically, we were together for like 4 or 5 months. And it was really good. Like, she was nice. Oh, 3 months, sorry. And it was nice. Like, we were like close. And then so she lived on like essentially the entire other side of the city to me. So the only time that we would see each other was when we could both get into the city and go out and do something. Which wouldn't be too much of a problem. But it means that like we didn't get to see each other that often, which is fine.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so with that in mind, this is like our 3rd date or something. And it was all well and good. Enjoyed myself. Was very fun. And it was the end of the day. And then she told me she loved me on the 3rd date.
Oh.
And I was like, that's a bit intense.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how to deal with emotions. So I freaked out a bit, and then was like, and then I got my teaching job, and she was a year younger than me, so she was still a student at the time. When I was like in university, so I just graduated.
Oh, right.
So she was 1 year below us.
Yep.
And so I called her and I was like, hey, like I've got this teaching position and I have a blue card. And basically like we can't date anymore because I can't associate with minors, which is partly true, but also there's laws that make it okay if you're dating someone before you like get your blue card.
Yeah.
And if you knew each other before you turned 18, that sort of thing.
Wait, did you know her before you turned 18?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was 17. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, that's called the Romeo and Juliet law.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so I called her and was like, hey, like, this isn't going to work out. Also because I was, like, pretty freaked out over the whole I love you thing because, like, that's a lot for a 3rd date.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it ended and we were fine. Like, we were both on pretty good terms.
Yep.
Anyway, she's a year younger than me. So I did a year in a course already that I ended up dropping out of and not continuing.
Right.
And so I always knew she had a slight interest in photography.
Oh.
So
oh no.
I showed up on my first day of uni and was walking across campus, and lo and behold, who do I see?
Wow.
John is walking towards me. And
My
me
goodness.
being the kind and courteous man that I am, was like, hello. And then she went
John.
and just looked away from me. I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay, I see how it is.
right.
So that was very awkward, and I still haven't entirely recovered.
Oh, wait. So, she just go to the same uni, or is she in like the same?
She's in the same
classes?
course as me. So she's in all my lectures. She's not in any of my tutes, which
But-
I guess is good.
If she continues the course and you
But
continue
at some
the
point, I
course-
will very likely have a class with her, and I rather dread that day with John.
It sounds like this story is to be continued still.
I feel like the story is very much TBC.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah, right. Well, I can't say I have any of those kind of stories from uni.
Yeah, look, you're a lucky man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, we were talking about movies before, and there was something I wanted to talk about when we were talking about sound design and like silence in movies,
Right. Yep.
and how it's never actually silent, and that if you're doing sound for a movie, then it shouldn't ever be silent. Because,
Even if it's like supposed to be silent, it should never be silent.
yeah.
Right.
And that silence can only, like, true silence should only be used for creative effect.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
interesting.
actually really cool when you see that in movies. So, especially space movies and A Quiet Place.
That's such a good movie.
It is such
love
a
that
good movie.
movie.
Are you keen for the second one?
So excited.
I'm really excited.
I'm so excited. I was reading reviews for it, and apparently it's just as good, if not better, than the first one.
Really?
Yeah, which is awesome.
I
Yeah.
don't know how I can deal with the death of that character towards the end of the first one.
The movie's like 2 years old. You can talk about it.
Oh, okay. The
But-
dad died.
The dad dies. Yeah, no, he's, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Sad. I don't know if I can, how I'll go with that.
I mean, Emily Blunt is still a great actor, and so are those
Yeah.
kids. Those kids are amazing, so it'll still be a really good film, I'm sure.
Wait, didn't he direct it though?
Yeah, John Krasinski directed it.
Yeah.
So he's directing the second one as well. He's just not starring in it because he's dead. Like Tom Hanks. No.
Not yet.
All right, carry on. Sound.
Stay with us, Tom Hanks.
Sound, please.
Yeah. Silence in movies. Yeah, so like A Quiet Place, because it's... Actually, I wonder how much true silence is actually in it.
A lot.
So, is there?
Yeah, I know that because I bought snacks before the film. So I didn't eat them during the trailers. So I was sitting in the movie just going...
Oh, that is
And everyone was death staring at me because everyone else was intelligent and didn't buy fucking snacks for the movie. So I was sitting there with my goddamn Maltesers and popcorn, just like...
Oh, that's fantastic.
Anyway, sorry for the sound effects, audio listeners.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, true silence is just when there's like literally no audio in that
Yeah.
part of like the session.
Logically.
Yeah. So, but normally, even if a scene's silent, so maybe there's a few characters in the room, but it's, let's say it's awkward and no one's talking, there's actually room, like there's at least a room tone.
Right.
So whenever you're sitting in a room, there's noise coming from something. Actually, now I think about it, I don't know how that kind of works with... Anyway,
What do you mean by a room tone?
so maybe like the lights are buzzing, things like that.
Are they?
They would be... Oh, well, no. But they would be a little bit.
Yes.
And enough for you to hear, and you kind of hear this little tone.
Yeah. So that's like the ambient, the what's the word? Neutral. That's like your neutral.
Yeah, well, ambience, we call it.
Yeah.
And if it's something like... If it's something really simple, like just a room tone, it's just like one kind of buzzing, it's sort of a hum.
Yeah.
But even though it's not really noticeable because we literally hear it all the time,
It's still there.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's important to have that in the film as well, because otherwise it'll feel empty.
Yeah, because it actually, like, you're like, oh yeah, this should be silent because no one's talking. But if they took that room tone out of there, it would actually be so weird. Like,
Yeah.
it
That
would
makes
just
sense.
sound so out of place and unfinished. And yeah. But
Interesting.
then there's movies like A Quiet Place, which literally has parts that have no room tone, I think, for dramatic effect.
Yeah, like like
Oh.
specifically the scene where the monsters are stalking them and it's dead silent.
Yeah,
That
when
sort of thing.
it's when actually I just realized this. It's when you know how it like flicks to what the girl hears every now and then,
Yeah.
and she has hearing aids. She's like deaf.
Yep.
Yeah, whenever it flicks to her, there's like true silence there.
Oh.
Everywhere else, it's actually not silent.
Right.
There is a tone.
It's only then that it's true silence.
Yeah, because she literally doesn't
Because she
hear
doesn't
that tone.
have. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that's really interesting.
yeah.
I wonder what other movies use that.
Well, space movies. A
So,
lot
like
of space
Gravity?
movies use it. Yep. Particularly when they're like outside the ship,
Yeah.
things like that, because there's no sound in
Yeah,
space.
because there's no oxygen. It can't
Yeah.
travel. Yeah. Or no air, I should say.
Yeah.
Because, you know, air and oxygen are different things.
Correct.
Correct. I know science. I passed science. I'm intelligent.
Science in grade 8.
Oh,
Yeah. And there's one scene in Star Wars, back to Star Wars. I feel like we're going to talk about Star Wars a lot.
I get the feeling we are. It's just such a good film.
I
Like,
know.
cinematography wise, special effects, like audio, acting, it's all there.
I know. It's amazing.
See, actually, sorry to hijack your conversation, but
That's fine.
it does make me rather sad that people like look at Star Wars and they go, "Oh, it's just a sci-fi movie. Like it's overhyped."
Yeah.
But no, like it's actually this incredible work of cinema that's just like amazingly written and fantastically bar like 7, 8, 9, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Even 1 to 3 are amazing films.
Oh, yeah.
Like the only reason people don't like them is because everyone else doesn't like them. But if you actually watch them, they're really good.
Yeah.
The first one's a bit iffy.
Wait,
but-
are you talking about the prequel 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, prequel.
Yeah.
The first one's a bit iffy, but 2 and 3, especially 3, like Revenge of the Sith is such a good movie. All those fight scenes are
Yeah.
so good. Also, Ewan McGregor, he could stab me and I would probably thank him.
Yeah, I get that. What a guy.
Yeah. Sorry, carry on with what you were saying about
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. So there's a scene in Star Wars where I think it might actually be in the first one.
Like
Like
episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When someone's flying to a planet, I don't remember, but he's chasing another thing, and they're blowing up asteroids around him.
Right.
And just for dramatic effect, you see like the little rocket or the little bomb go to the asteroid, then it goes completely silent, and then just like a big boom, like because it's kind of
So they
like
use
the
that
sound
silence
gets
to
sucked out.
emphasize. Yeah. So they
Yeah.
use the silence to emphasize the boom.
Yeah.
Oh.
So things like that.
Yeah. That's really intelligent use of sound, I guess.
Yeah, it's subtle, but it's like it's crazy how you can use silence in a film for
Yeah.
anything, and how it can make things sound really out of place.
Yeah. Funky.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about a serious topic.
Yes.
So, as artists in a creative field, I feel like it's really difficult for creatives to get consistent work, considering that most of it's freelance, and to pursue their own art rather than just doing the art that someone else is asking of them. Especially like speaking from a photographer point of view, or there's heaps of projects that I would love to do and would love to see through,
Yeah.
like fine art stuff. But that's not the stuff that pays. Like that's not how you can make a living.
Yeah.
So as creatives, how do you think that we should draw that line between like focus and hard work and actually making money, between doing the thing that you actually want to do?
Yeah, I don't know. This is hard because like we're in that position where like we'd be asking people like professionals these questions.
Yeah.
I really
Which is why that's why I think it's important that we talk about it, because we're obviously like we're not at the start of our careers. I don't think we're like pretty well into them, but we're by no means like top of the line professionals.
No.
We're getting there. I would say that we're well educated and what's like one below professional.
Semi-pro?
Like, yeah, we're like semi-pro essentially. I would call myself semi-pro at least.
I wouldn't call myself semi-pro.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. What would you classify yourself as?
Somewhere between amateur and semi-pro, probably.
Right.
End of this year, I reckon, semi-pro.
Right. But like, even in regards to like when you were doing music and that sort of thing, when you were very heavily involved in that, what do you think that proper balance between actually making money and doing the creative endeavors would be?
Well, I think you really got to do something you love, and I don't think you're ever going to make money if you're not doing something you love, or you're never going to stick with it.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just finding something you love that not necessarily has decent pay, but has like there are opportunities out there to get jobs in that field.
Yeah. Well, there's this whole thing, and not just in the creative field, but in our generation as a whole, specifically in the like with like entrepreneurs and stuff. This whole idea that like hustling and putting in a lot of effort and trying really hard will get you everywhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the generation that we're in, that's just not true anymore.
No.
It's just as much about who you know, and how you know them and how well you know them as it is about what you know and what you can do.
And completely. And even social media.
Yeah.
Like,
knowledge of social media is so important.
Like you could just jump on Instagram, go like a bunch of, for me, producers things, and if you find another semi-pro producer, just hit them up.
Yeah.
You can be like, you want to collaborate
Have
on
you done
something?
that before?
I haven't yet, no.
Oh.
Because I have so many connections at unis now,
Right, you don't really have to.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll be doing that in the not so distant future.
Well, when I was in New York last year, I didn't go through Instagram, but I think like just being able to talk to people as a creative is so important.
Yeah.
When I was going through New York, I had a day off, and I was just walking around, doing some street photography, that sort of thing. And I ended up in a park in Lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
And there was this big market on. It was all very nice, and there was this guy sitting there, in like full streetwear, like decked out, looked really, really nice. So I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, like, are you busy right now? What are you waiting for?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm waiting for this designer, but I've got like half an hour to kill." I was like, "Oh, sick. Do you want to do a photo shoot?" Real quick.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I just did a really quick photo shoot with him, and I got like 30 good images out of it.
Wow, that's really cool.
But that's what I mean. Like, and I got his Instagram, I got his Facebook, all his social media. Like, that's someone that's now seen my work and seen me as a professional.
Yeah.
Where the next time I go to New York, I can hit them up and they'll be like, "Hey, like these people were interested in getting photos from you."
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is really cool, actually.
But I think that's that's such a big part of it.
Yeah.
Is making those connections and knowing those people.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always thought about doing things like that with buskers. Like you just go up to buskers. I've seen there's heaps of stuff on YouTube with that.
Yeah.
Just going up to buskers that sound really good, and you just
joining them.
Yeah.
Just jamming.
Or jamming, or just saying like, "Oh, hey, this is my number," or whatever.
Yeah,
Got
let's
free
record
studio time. Let's hang out.
Like fully for free?
Yeah. Well, like with me at uni, I get a bunch of free studio time. So
Right.
Is
that like allotted, or do you have to book it in, or how does it work?
So there's like a certain amount of studios, and we get 4 hours per studio per week for free.
Right.
And well, actually, you don't need to pay at all because it comes out of your like tuition fees you pay anyway. But yeah, 4 hours per studio per week. And if you're doing a project and maybe there's 3 people in the project, you can just book out one studio for 12 hours. And just
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Each of us just get 4 hours. And yeah, so you just start in the morning and then get some lunch in the middle and come back. You
got all day. Yeah.
Yeah. Go down the pub just down the road, come back. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sick.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Then we get access to whole heaps of gear and stuff. So,
So in conclusion,
yes,
it's a bit of both. So it's connections and hustle.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Like you have to work stupidly hard for it, but also there's a bit of luck involved in meeting the right people.
Yeah. It's almost, you just got to work hard to meet people.
Work hard, play hard. Sorry, go.
Wow. Mature.
Carry on.
Yeah. So I think you just put them two together. You got to work hard to meet people, to network. Yeah. I've gotten that drilled into me, networking. and how important that is. And yeah.
Yeah,
so,
100%.
mm.
Yeah. Do you mind if we talk about some artists? Some more art people? So, I have a couple artists that I want to talk about that I brought for the class today.
Wait, you're talking about like painting artists?
Well, yeah.
Oh, wow. That really messed with my head.
Why?
Because as soon as you said artists, I'm like, music.
No, not music. I'm talking about actual artists.
Yes, go for it. Now I'm understanding
Yes.
what's happening here.
So I'm going to talk about 3 artists. One of them is a performance artist or a group of performance artists who I don't actually have the name of, which I feel bad about. 2 of them I don't have the names of because they're much smaller artists, so you can't Google them. The top one you can probably find a news story for, but then the third one is someone you can Google. So the first one, so I'm not sure where this museum is, but there's a museum called the Tate Gallery.
Tate Gallery?
Yeah, the Tate Gallery.
Is it in Brisbane?
No, it's not in Brisbane.
And
so
not know of that.
This gallery was it was sponsored by it's in London, sorry. London, Liverpool and Cornwall. Cornwall. So it's a British art gallery. And they were sponsored by BP. As in the oil company BP.
Yeah.
And obviously people didn't enjoy that because it meant that the art that people were producing was being vetted by BP, the oil company.
Right.
So anything that was like climate change related or went against anything that they agreed with couldn't be hung in the gallery. Which was really, really, really dodgy.
Yeah.
So this performance art group got together and put on a performance piece in the lobby of the Tate Museum.
Right.
And they got these oil canisters. The show was called License to Spill. Yeah, and I'll show you that's the performance art.
Oh wow.
So it was a guy in the middle of it was a person in the middle of the lobby of the Tate Gallery, and then 2 hooded figures came up and poured oil over him or her, whoever it is. And that was like that performance art piece to go against BP. BP having a major stake in the Tate Gallery, and essentially advocating for the freedom of art within this gallery.
Yeah, wow.
And the gallery basically, like, this happened and the gallery went, oh fuck. And they cut ties with BP entirely.
Yeah. Wow.
So all their whole sponsorship with BP, they completely cut off. Which I thought was a really cool example of like how art influences the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was super, super cool.
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So this other one, the second one that I want to talk about is, I don't think I'll be able to find a picture of it, but I'll try my best. Is one of my uni lecturers, who did a photo series. No, I won't be able to find it very easily. Who did a photo series where he would take these really, really, really high definition images of bridges, nature, anywhere, like between Berlin and Brisbane. So he would switch between the two.
Right.
He's a German photographer. And he did this photo series where he would take these super high resolution images. He would take like 20 images of the same scene and he would stitch them all together. So it was super, super high def. You could like walk right up to it and see all the detail. It was really, really cool. And in all of these photos would be a person taking a selfie somewhere in the photo.
Oh.
And then hanging next to this massive printed canvas would be the cell phone with the selfie on it that the person has taken.
Wow.
And it was so, so cool.
That is cool.
And a lot of them weren't like, weren't really statements or anything, but one of them I really, really enjoyed was this really, really nice scene of nature. and it was a really beautiful photo, and it had the guy in it taking the selfie, and he in the selfie, he's facing towards the camera, so the camera's here, and he's like the selfie is facing towards the camera essentially.
So he's
facing away from the camera. Yeah. And in the selfie, you can see that the selfie is of him and his like petrol guzzling car in like this really, really nice scenery. And so the whole idea was like, and a lot of the photos follow this same thing of like really nice nature and then one person away from nature or actively rebelling against nature or doing things against nature.
Yeah, right.
And so it was like this whole thing about climate change and that sort of thing and how people deny it and don't really want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I thought that one was really, really, really cool, especially because of how high res all those photos were.
Yeah.
And the third one is my favorite one. Is a sculpture by Jeff Koons, Jeff Koons with a K. And he is a modern art sculptor, painter, artist. Like, just does a bit of everything, really.
Yeah.
And you know Sean Penn, the actor?
Yeah.
So Sean Penn, for many years of his life, spent a lot of time collecting guns. He really, really liked guns. And he had a collection that was like worth a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
Worth of guns, which is a shit ton.
Whoa.
It was something like 25, 30, 35 guns, something like that.
Yeah, right.
And so a few weeks ago, he basically was like, I'm done. I don't want these guns anymore. I don't want them in my possession. He kind of saw the damage that they did and just didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
So he messaged Jeff Koons and goes, hey, I have this stack, essentially, of guns that I don't want anything to do with. Would you like to make an art piece out of it? So what Jeff Koons did was he decommissioned all of these guns, so that you have to do that legally.
Yeah.
And go through and go, hey, these guns don't exist anymore. And he went through and then he started melting them, all these guns.
Oh, I think I might have seen this.
Did you?
Maybe.
Yeah, so he started melting all these guns and he started making a sculpture out of it. And it is so sick. Let me see if I can find it quickly. But he got it melted and made a sculpture out of it, and it went for sale this morning, or our time this morning, last night US time.
Yeah.
And so this is the sculpture.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Okay, I did not see that.
Yeah. For the audio listeners, I'll put it in the description for you to have a look at.
Whoa.
So yeah, Jeff Koons made this sculpture, and he sold it this morning. Don't take a guess how much he sold it for. I'll tell you who he sold it for. Do you know who Anderson Cooper is?
I do not.
So Anderson Cooper is a late night show host, I believe, in America. He's a journalist and a CNN anchor.
Yep.
Anderson Cooper.
Okay.
You've probably seen him before.
Yeah, probably.
Do you want to take a guess how much he bought this sculpture for at an auction this morning?
Well,
I'll give you a hint. It has a lot of zeros.
I reckon 400.
400,000?
Yeah.
No, more.
700?
Nah, more.
Like more than... Wait. $1 million?
More.
5 million?
No, $1.4 million.
That is a lot of money.
He sold that sculpture to Anderson Cooper for $1.4 million.
What the heck?
Yeah, which is actually very cheap for a Jeff Koons sculpture.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his more... do you know what his more expensive ones are?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to take a guess at what his... I think it's the piece that he sold before this one. Do you want to take a guess at how much he sold it for? It's much, much more.
5 million.
More.
10 million.
Way more.
50 million?
Way more.
What? More than 50 million?
$91 million.
What the heck?
Mm-hmm. It was a sculpture of a rabbit.
What?
Yep. Sculpture of a rabbit.
Was it a particularly cool rabbit?
I'm assuming it was just a rabbit.
Just a rabbit.
Yeah.
So
$91 million
for a rabbit.
for a rabbit.
Wow.
I think we're either going into really, really, really the right field or really, really the wrong one.
Yeah. $91 million.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, no. So those are the artists that I wanted to talk about. Today.
Oh, 91 million. So that just reminds me of like the trailer music industry.
Have you heard that is? Oh,
yeah.
like movie
Like,
trailers.
yeah.
Right. Go. Shoot.
There's
I'm ready.
actually like, I didn't even realize this, but there is a massive industry just for trailers. So
Don't they all have like the same 6 songs?
no.
Oh.
So
they're clearly not very creative.
they're all very similar. They're very similar, yes, and it's like a very competitive industry, but there are so many people that do it. And if you get on like big trailers, there's so much money in it.
Like, what would you classify as a big trailer?
Oh, like A Quiet Place is a big trailer.
Right.
But like any of those,
So just a blockbuster film, essentially. Yeah.
that's like probably as high as you can get, really, in trailer music.
Right.
I reckon anyway. But yeah, so they normally have so the people who are making the film, the director, that's what I was looking for. The director will sort of go to his like a production guy who will talk to who will have a brief of the film, and he'll go to a bunch of trailer music companies, and then they'll send out briefs to their artists, who will then make a song, like maybe 2 minutes, a trailer, something that could go over this trailer, and then they'd send it back, and then the company would make an album, and
like a full album.
yeah.
Right.
So they'd probably get 10, 20 songs back, depending on how many artists they wanted. It could be an EP if they only gave it to a few, if it was a smaller thing maybe. But yeah, so they you get 20 songs on this album, and then they choose maybe the best ones, and you just get a slightly smaller album. They send it off to the guy who gave him the briefs from the production team on the from the director,
Like the actual film.
yeah.
Yep.
And then he'll go and pick, and if he likes a song, they'll often ask for stems, and
Which is?
stems are pretty much the multi-track of the song. So
Don't know what that means.
so,
You have to dumb it down for me. I'm but a humble photographer.
so like, you know, how you have a kick drum, snare drum, tom, all on different tracks. So kick drums on one track, and then snares on another track, and so they'll ask for the stems, which pretty much they're asking for every single one of those
The
audio
individual
things.
tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stems are just like sort of the way you format it and
Got it.
make sure it's so when you let's say he's used the program Logic, and now this guy's importing it onto Pro Tools. If it's not in stems, then it could really mess up where things start.
Yeah.
So yeah. Trailer music. Yeah, so if he likes it, he'll ask the stems, and sometimes you could just maybe get this piano lick that you thought was really cool, and he puts that into the song. So he'll create then this song out of all these stems, and that can be like maybe 100 stems on one song. So he's probably got 2,000 stems.
Yeah.
And now he's creating a song for this trailer. And yeah, so he'll get maybe this section, and then this like little piano lick. And if you get 3 seconds of your piano lick on that could be thousands of dollars.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So,
I think
so it goes to those individual artists.
yeah.
Right.
It goes back to the company, and then they'll give it to the artist.
Right.
And for a smaller amount. So I think this guy who came in and was talking to us about it, he said his biggest pay was, I think, 4 seconds of a stem, so maybe a guitar lick or something like that, and he got $22,000.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
$22,000.
Did you say what movie?
He did. I don't remember them though, but they weren't big movies. Actually, one of them was I think a Black Ops trailer, Call of Duty Black Ops trailer.
Shit.
Yeah,
$22,000.
yeah, for 4 seconds.
Fuck, I'm in the wrong industry. Actually, that's not entirely true.
No.
I have a money story to tell you after this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But see, he would have been going up against hundreds of people, and he managed to get 4 seconds on it. But still, like Call of Duty trailers, it's a pretty big company and all that, so they have all the money. They'll pay, the old day rates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now places like companies like Disney actually completely shortchange in terms of money. Like there's full on cheapskates.
Oh, really?
Particularly in that industry, yeah. They just won't pay the amount. So the company and the sort of producers from Disney kind of agree on a price.
Right.
And the thing is, Disney will be like, oh, I'm paying this much, or I'm going with something else. And so it's a big win for the company to get the name on that trailer song. So, yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What's like the most money you could make from one of them, do you think?
Oh, I reckon 100,000.
100,000 would be like
plus. Yeah.
Right.
If you got 5 seconds of a few stems, I reckon you could. I think I heard someone. I think he told us a story, $100 and something $100,000.
Insane.
Just for a little bit, but it was like for a blockbuster film sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's not someone I know personally because Jesus, if I did, I would be on their ass all the time. But yeah, so this guy took this photo with hundreds and hundreds of planes taking off, and he posted it in this. It was like an art exhibition, so it was for like actual exhibition in the gallery.
Yep.
And he posted it on his website. And all these news companies kept contacting him, trying to get to use just this one image.
Yeah, right.
And it made him so much money because they had to pay all these royalties for it, which is just fucking wild.
That is insane. How much did he make from it?
I don't remember exactly, but I know that it was in the tens, if not hundreds of thousands.
Holy moly!
Yeah, it's actually. And that you just reminded me of that when you were telling me about how much money they make from
trailer music.
Yeah, from those stems.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing with the arts is like you'll either make a shit ton of money really quickly or you just never will. Like it's one of those things. It's like it'll either happen or it won't, and that's just kind of how it is, which is really sad. It's a sad reality, but like if you enjoy it, you'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
But,
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll see if I can find this photo. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Do I have anything else I want to talk about?
Surely you have a shit ton of stuff you want to talk about.
Oh, man. I could talk about a whole bunch of stuff.
Do it then.
I guess going back to the TIE fighter thing, we were talking about how he put distortion on it. And I was going to talk about like what distortion is because it freaked me out what it was.
Right, go. I'm ready.
You know how things clip?
Yep.
It's just that.
What do you mean it's just that?
It's literally just excessive clipping.
Fuck off.
I'm pretty sure that's just what it is.
I was gonna yell into the microphone to demonstrate clipping.
No thanks.
Thought that would be very.
No thanks. No. Don't touch the gain knob.
For the audio listeners, I went to reach for the gain knob on my audio interface.
Don't touch it.
To fucking blast some eardrums.
Yeah. So, but like it's clips and then it creates harmonics. Yeah. I don't know if I want to get into the whole harmonic series and all that.
Yeah, maybe hold off for a bit.
Yeah.
If we really run out of things to talk about.
Like frequencies and stuff, and if you play one frequency and then each frequency has its own harmonic series and yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Actually.
So it's sort of like we did like 1K. We sent 1K through a thing, that frequency, and then you distort that, and then you get these just the harmonics. So you can, if you watch a graphic analyzer, no, just like a EQ analyzer thingy. I forgot the actual name. You can just see like that frequency pop up, and then the next one, and it's just like, oh, they're the harmonics. So yeah,
That's so weird. There's so much shit like that like you just don't think about. Like you never need to think about.
yeah,
It's just, and then one day someone tells you, and you're like,
what?
what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So I remember going into like a distortion workshop, and he's like, yeah, so it's just pretty much clipping. Yeah.
And you're like, do you mind explaining that some more?
Yeah. So I like to call distortion creative clipping. Actually,
It's just creative clipping. I want to talk about like influences and stuff for a second. Because I was listening to a podcast.
yes.
Surprise, surprise.
This one.
I am narcissistic and listen to my own podcast, but I actually did the other day. It was rather sad.
Yeah.
Like the whole I listened to it like 3 times while I was editing it, and then I listened to it again of my own free will.
Yeah.
just because.
Yeah, I couldn't have done that. I listened to it once to take notes for myself, and that was about it.
No, I was listening to The Ground Up Show, which is a podcast hosted by Matt Diavella, who is a filmmaker and content creator who lives in Los Angeles, who I would love to interview one day. He is amazing. But he was talking the other day in his podcast. The other day, this is like June last year, but it was the other day when I listened to this podcast. He's talking about the fact that all of these people in the media have found the way to present themselves, and he called it. He changed the way he viewed it when he became an influencer, and he calls it the Netflix. I think he called it the Netflix method or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Which is essentially that no matter how famous a person is, what they do, how many people they know, how much money they make,
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey, Arnold Schwarzenegger, fucking Hugh Jackman, Barack Obama, all go home at the end of the day, take their shoes off, get in their sweatpants, and watch Netflix. Like
Right. Yeah. Okay.
at least at some point in the past few weeks, they've gotten home and just been absolutely exhausted and just like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch Netflix. Right?
Yeah.
And like there was like that whole thing of like, yeah, like it really humanizes them because you're like, oh yeah, like,
They actually do that.
they actually are people.
Yeah.
And they are just normal humans.
Oh,
and like
that's crazy.
you do understand that on a generic level that a celebrity is a person.
Yeah.
But you never make that genuine connection that, oh shit, that's a people's.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
get that.
No, but he was talking about how because he had another person on the podcast who started this blog when he was in college, and it kind of grew really quickly, and he very quickly became this like media person essentially. And he was talking about how he was figuring out how to present himself, and he was talking about how you look up to all of these interviewers, like you look up to Larry King, Oprah. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, all these people that interview people for a living.
Yeah.
And he was like, the reason that you can't copy those people and why it doesn't work when you copy those people is that when the reason they interview like they do and the reason that they act like they do is because that's what makes them the most comfortable.
Oh.
So if you try to copy them, you're just going to be
Right.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you just need to do what makes you comfortable and then create your own media presence that way as that person rather than being uncomfortable.
Oh.
Because if you're uncomfortable, then people won't want to listen. Because regardless of what you think or what you say, people are going to pick up that you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which I just found super interesting.
That is really
And
interesting.
he like 100% recommend Matt Diavella's podcast, The Ground Up Show.
Sure.
It is...
Write that down.
Yeah, actually write it down. Subtle plug for The Ground Up Show. Not subtle. It's not subtle at all.
You're not subtle.
But no, it's a fantastic podcast, and he's a fantastic filmmaker. He actually has a film on Netflix called it's called Minimalism something something. I think it's called like Minimalism, the Abstract of Life or something like that. Let me have a look.
Oh.
But he makes all of these films and all of these movies and TV shows, YouTube thingies. It's called Minimalism, a documentary about the important things.
Yeah.
And he basically talks about how he completely flipped his life upside down and got rid of the majority of his personal possessions that he was like, I don't need these anymore. Like, he wears the same pair of jeans and the same 5 shirts every day of the week.
Oh.
So he doesn't have to think about clothes. He's eliminated that from his life. He only has the apps that he actually needs. So he doesn't have Instagram, he doesn't have Facebook, doesn't have Twitter. He uses all of those from his desktop for his work time.
Oh, yeah.
He's organized his life into sections. So, like, this time is for work, this time is for eating, like that sort of thing. And not to a T, like, this is just generally, like, anywhere from 8 till 10 is my breakfast, and then 10 till 6 is when I work, that sort of thing.
Like full Sheldon Cooper styles.
Yeah, but not, like, neurotic. He's not, like, super intense about it. He's just, like, he's just eliminated the parts of his life that he thinks aren't necessary.
Right.
Okay. But he's... Yeah, and he does the same thing with his filmmaking. All of his films are just beautiful to watch because they're so simple.
Yeah.
There's nothing extra. There's nothing flashy. It's not anything crazy. It's just really nice to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a really nice way to live. Like, I've got all this shit, which is like...
Which is a shelf full of cameras.
Yeah.
And
sorry, audio listeners. Yes, audio listeners. It is a shelf full of all of my old film cameras. And lenses.
Other garbage down the bottom.
And don't talk about the garbage at the bottom. But all my camera bags are there and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But like this stuff, I deem essentials. Like, this is the stuff that I need because it's a set and... Like my Bronica there, my medium format, that's important to me. And like all of these are important to me because these are cameras that have been passed down to me. But things like random possessions that I might own, like a clock that I don't use, or extra watches, or just like, you know how you randomly hoard all of these things that you just get at some point and you have nothing to do with? Like his whole philosophy is just get rid of it. You don't need it. But like, if you see value in something, keep it. Yeah, is essentially his whole thing.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's like after spending a lot of time listening to his podcast and watching his videos, like I've been trying to get into that mindset, like of getting into just keeping the essentials of the things that I really, really, really need, rather than hoarding all of the things that I don't. Yeah, because like there's no point putting all that effort in and emotional energy into all of these material possessions. Yeah. And just to be sad that they go. Like, there's no point in being sad that they go because it's just a thing, you know? Yeah.
And it's just not useful.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not adding anything.
Yeah. Like, what is my my 1/16th size Darth... If I can talk. My 1/16th size Darth Vader replica going to do for me? Like, it's nothing. Cool. I got it at a pawn shop when I was 8. Like, I'm never going to use it. It's never going to be useful to me. So why should I keep it? It's all those things that you need to think about. Like things like lights and cameras, and that is all relevant to my career. Like, these are the things that I need. Yeah. But like, do I really need anything else? Do I really need all these clothes that I have?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what if I could realistically just wear the same pair of pants and 5 white t-shirts for a week, and just wash my pants one day a week. Like, it's all these things.
Yeah. That it just goes through and picks out the things that aren't necessary.
Yeah, exactly. So I think once I move, I'm going to, like, really get rid of a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the best time to do it because you have to go through everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to take a lot over when I move overseas because it's like, what am I going to take with me? I'm going to take my cameras. I'm going to take some clothes. Full stop. Yeah.
Not your Darth Vader thing?
No, not my Darth Vader thing.
What about that giant rubber duck behind you?
We don't talk about Ducky.
So he is going.
Yes. No, but I think that's an important thing to think about, is the things that you actually place value in. An actual value, not just, oh, but I got him. Or I got it. I got it 2 years ago. Like, I don't want to throw it out because I have it. You know?
Yeah.
But no. Do you have anything else you want to bring up, or
I don't know.
we can keep talking? It's fine.
Keep talking. Yeah. Country music, you like it?
Fuck off.
No?
Would have been good if we just cut the podcast there. Country music, you like it? Fuck off. Ding, 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 ding.
No, but actually, do you like country music?
How do I answer this without offending a lot of people? I don't enjoy a lot of country music.
Yeah.
But there is some that I will listen to.
Like, what kind of some? Like the
Baby,
sort
lock
of...
them doors and turn the lights down
That doesn't
low.
count.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
a
That's
meme.
country. No,
Yeah.
it's like I would legitimately listen to that song.
Okay. So sort of the cliche kind of stuff.
Yeah, like self-aware country that knows it's a little bit shit and just plays into it. You know what I mean? I don't like really serious country.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I bought a red pickup truck and then I fucked my Christian wife. Like,
Too accurate.
yeah,
Too
it's,
accurate.
it's like I don't want to know your life story. I just want to
Life story, you know.
I just want to drink alcohol and not have to think about the music I'm listening to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a sensitive topic at school too.
Is it? Do a lot of people like
Yes.
country music?
No.
Oh,
No. Well,
No.
especially in like in our age, city life, and we're young, so it's kind of all pop, all EDM,
a
hip
lot
hop,
of rap. I listen to a lot of rap.
a lot of rap. See, I can't do rap.
I think I'm gonna have to teach you the ways of rap. I think I'm
Maybe.
gonna have to give you some good albums.
So I don't know.
Watsky
But yeah.
released his new album last
See,
week.
Watsky's cool.
Watsky's new album is very good.
Yeah.
I started listening to it today on the drive home from work, and man, it's
cool.
so good. It's
Yeah,
so.
right.
There's one song that is 10 minutes long.
Really?
Yeah, it just keeps
heck?
going, and it's like it's one of his story songs. So it's like
Oh yeah.
very
they're
very
good, though.
in depth. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I really really like it.
Mm.
Do you have any parting words? Any last things you want to say?
Listen to good country.
Listen to good country. What's good country?
Yes.
That's not an answer.
There was just a band that got mentioned to me, Lark and Poe. It's a duo, two girls, but it's actually quite funky.
Right.
Quite like it.
Alright.
I'm gonna look into more country that's sort of that vibe.
So that's your
just-
recommendation.
Yeah,
Do you want to say it one more time?
Lark and Poe.
Lark. Lark.
IN. Larkin.
Oh, Larkin.
Yes, Larkin Poe.
Right. I'm with you.
Larkin POE.
Oh, like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes, but not.
You don't? Do you know who that is?
I have no idea.
Oh, Jesus. Next week I'm going to educate you on Edgar Allan Poe. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, let's end it. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We hope you've enjoyed our ramblings.
Once again, so good.
Have a great week. We'll see you all next week.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, let's try that again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We will see you all next week. The podcast is available everywhere now. So it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, everywhere. All the things.
All the things.
If you're listening on one of those things, please don't forget to rate the podcast, review it, leave some kind words.
5 stars.
It means the world to us. And lastly, we also have a video podcast. Just look up the Froe Show on YouTube. There's also some clips, and you can see our faces talking, and you can see things when we point at stuff that you can't look at when you're listening to the audio.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. See you next week. Bye.
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 Yeah. Woo.